There we are. We back at it. Hey, yo, man. It's your boy DJ Klyph. We back at it again. It's another episode of Klyph Notes, and just really happy to be back with you, folk, and glad that you continue to tune in, man. As always, there's a bunch of ways you can catch up. You can check us out on SoundCloud. Just search for DJ Klyph on SoundCloud, djklyph. Also, you can find us on iTunes. If you subscribe on iTunes, be sure to review the podcast. That definitely helps. And of course, you can connect through the website djklyph.com. That's djklyph.com. And then just again, man, we're looking for that sponsor, man. So, Sizzle Pie, if you're out there trying to do what you do, hit me up, djklyph@yahoo.com. But it's cool to be back, man, doing another episode with a cat who I've had an opportunity to build with for a minute. And it's we're going to get into some stuff. It's kind of cool. We in the lab right now, laying it down. But, man, let them know who you are, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Dizz with We Out Here Magazine, bro.
Dizz!
Hey.
How you been, bro?
I'm chilling, man. Life is great. I'm going to keep it real.
Exactly, man. You have been busy.
Yes.
Busy to say the least.
Man, I don't sleep anymore. I'll be honest.
That's what's up, man. So, man, so many things to get into, and it's interesting, just to kind of start from the beginning. I always like to kind of go back to where I connect with people. So you were kind enough to come through the radio show a couple years ago to Welcome to the Neighborhood when it was on KZME.
Yep.
And I don't even remember how we first actually connected.
I think it might have been through luck.
Okay.
It usually is.
Okay. Exactly. Making moves for real.
Yeah.
Because I know when you came through, you brought a couple tracks, and then you brought a couple tracks from Critical Mass.
Yes.
So
That's what it was.
That's right. Right before y'all dropped.
Right before the drop. Yep.
But so that's when I first connected with you. But that's not where it started. I mean, you've been doing music for a while.
For years, yeah. I started off as a producer, and I've been doing that for about 10 plus years probably, and gradually shifted into doing other things, songwriting, singing, DJing most recently, and just kind of I guess I get bored easily, or I got ADHD or something. I don't know.
But it's funny though, bro, because like I said, that was the first time I had an opportunity to get to know you and sit down and talking to you, and then you let me hear some stuff that you put out before, and I've also had an opportunity to hear stuff that you kind of gave me the in on. That's stuff that's not released, right? Plus other things that you've done, but especially after Critical Mass, I was waiting for the next, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was because. This is talented, man.
Thank you, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that something that you aspire to do, to really work as an individual artist?
Yeah,
at some point?
I've been considering it lately. I was talking to a few artists at Cool Nuts' show last night, and they were, asking me when I'm going to get back into it. And it's just a matter of timing, I think, man. As I get older, I'm realizing that anyway, man. Your time is important, and right now, I got so much stuff that's in the pot. Yeah. I just kind of, I do want to eventually get back to it. I've been lacking inspiration, to be honest, with production. And I don't want to do anything half-heartedly. Right. I got to be inspired. So I'm actually in the process of starting to go that direction again. I'm looking for beats, that type of thing. So I'm not in the producing mood, but I definitely want to songwrite.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, let's do this, man. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. So where you from?
I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, and was raised in Portland all my life practically. Literally moved back here when I was probably 6 weeks old. So
all right.
Pretty much from Portland. I grew up in Northeast and survived. But yeah, man, I've been doing music all my life. I've been playing the piano since I was probably 4 years old. Started by ear, and gradually I played trumpet in school. I went to Tubman. I picked up a trumpet at Tubman Middle School. Okay. And went to Jeff too. Played in the band at Jeff. I did concert band, jazz band, all that. So that's how I ended up gradually getting into this.
So you play keys. Yeah. You play trumpet.
Yeah.
And then we know that you produce. So you nice. You nice with the beats that way too.
I might.
On the project. On the project Critical Mass, you played some live horns, didn't you?
I did for the release party. For the release party, I did. I wasn't able to do it in studio at that time.
Okay.
And shout out to Tope for letting me borrow his trumpet, by the way. He was mad. I kept that thing for like a year, I think. I forget. But I did actually add trumpet sounds when I was producing, but I didn't. I wish I would have gotten the opportunity to add live trumpet. But yeah.
So, I know that we got some dope horn players. We got the Rose City horns. So, if anybody ever calls in sick, just call Dizz. He'll be happy.
Don't do that. I have elementary school training. I was pretty good, but lately you don't want to do that.
No doubt. So then, like a lot of folk probably. Just playing music on your own, and what was the first connect, the first time that you thought, yo, let me get with somebody and and try to build?
Well, I spent a short time in Vancouver, Washington, and that's where I really started building my name as a producer, as weird as it sounds. And I had a group of friends I used to produce with, and or actually I was producing for, technically. Yeah. I kind of formed a group with them, and we were young, you know what I mean? Okay. And we were messing around trying to be on 106 in Park, you know?
No doubt. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's, when you're a teenager, that's all
Aspiring,
you think. Yeah, right.
No
so, but that's kind of when I really took it upon myself. I mean, I was making beats in my mom's garage, you know what I'm saying? And in the cold, bro.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I really started to kind of think that I had something, you know what I mean, that I could actually do. And I just kept going. And my family was like, you're crazy. What are you doing? Go to school. You know what I'm saying? And this is stupid. And, it's been fulfilling for me. You know what I mean? So.
What was your inspiration? Because one of the things that I've thought about hearing the things that you produce, and again, that's the thing that I think after hearing, Critical Mass, I think, is a really great project. If you haven't copped it yet, you need to go check it out. It's available on iTunes and all your digital outlets. But after hearing that, and then some of the other things that you've done, your sound is very, to me, refined, for lack of a better term. Like you've been working at this for a little while,
right?
Yet at the same time, there's not a whole lot of Dizz. I mean, I got to go look for stuff. You know what I'm saying? So where does that come from? What was your inspiration to your specific production style? Man,
that's a great question, man. I really think that with my style, I'm a Virgo, man, and we're known to to use an analogy. When you're building with Legos, we're known to keep building. We're the project's never done. So when that's how I kind of approach music, and I kind of got to slap my own wrist and say, hey, it's finished. Like, get rid of it. Right. So I was, for Critical Mass specifically, I was looking at trying to make the most, like, the best album ever, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of production, and you kind of get in your own way sometimes. And I feel like, that project was strong. Yeah. But if I were to do it again, I would take an easier approach, I think.
No doubt.
But yeah, like I like layers. I like, my projects, I like to have a lot of instruments, a lot of strings, a lot of things going on, harmonies. I like to arrange. So I guess, a lot of beat makers don't know music, and I don't want to shade nobody or anything, but it's true,
But isn't that? I mean, that is the difference between somebody who makes beats,
right,
and somebody who produces.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's what I've always said. And I don't knock nobody. I've seen plenty of dudes with an MPC and some samples, like get it. But for me personally, I want to be a musician. I've never. I don't want to lose. I don't want my beats to lose the music aspect. Right. Sometimes to my detriment.
No doubt. Chopping up my man Dizz. So then you also, you pop up every once in a while. Like, you pop up on a Maddie joint.
Yeah.
You pop up on a Tope joint.
Right. That's APM.
Exactly. So and that's kind of, that's the question. Like, how does that come together in terms of a collective of like-minded individuals? Is it just organic?
It is, I think. I've been learning a lot through We Out Here about networking and about meeting people and what to expect, and building relationships, and that's an important part for me. when it comes to working with Luck, Tope, or Hanif, excuse me, you'll kill me, Tope, and anybody else in the clique, it's just I think we're kind of friends first, and if something comes up, Tope literally hit me and was like, yo, I need a male singer. You interested? Shot me a couple records. By the way, I could have been on that Blue record too.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, it was crazy because he didn't have the feature yet. He didn't have really much on that beat, but he shot it to me and I was like, man, I like that Rocky joint better. So I jumped on that, and then I heard the Blue record and I was like, man, come on, dog.
So if y'all don't know, what we talking about is Northwest MC Tope's latest project, Broke Boy Syndrome.
Cop that.
Drop, and it is ridiculous.
It is dope, man.
And so Tope shot me probably like 4 tracks early on before the release, and Rocky jumped out.
Yeah, thank you, man.
As one that I really
that's
did,
theory on that beat, man. When
Theory's
I heard
ridiculous.
it, right, I was like, you can't help but like, I want to sing something to that,
Right.
It was dope.
No doubt. Up in here with Dizz. So again, in terms of as I sort of have watched your career, Critical Mass came, and I saw you doing, guest spots here and there, and then I guess the next thing that I sort of saw happen was the connection with WOHM. Now you mentioned We Out Here, but just in case folk aren't familiar, let them know what that's about.
WeOutHere.net is a Northwest lifestyle magazine. We cover pretty much all regions of the Northwest, where we try to, and started off as a blog in Salem. My man Espy, shout out Espy, and Mr. Rolls, Andrew, and eventually it grew into what it is now, which is it's pretty much everywhere, man. To be honest, it's we're one of the biggest, I would say, Northwest hip hop blogs, in the region.
Yeah,
and it's taken a lot of work and a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we're pretty much there, man.
That's what's up. So 6 degrees of separation. If you folk, if this is your first time listening to Klyph Notes, go back and. The name of the podcast is djklyph Presents, and now Klyph Notes, but there is an episode featuring said Jake Espinoza, so y'all can go back and listen and hear a little bit of history of We Out Here. So We Out Here, you're right, man. I mean, I can remember early on looking for one central location to just find out what was going on. Like I'm not from the Northwest, I'm not from Portland, but I've been here for a minute.
Right.
And I remember when I came here, where can I go to find out who's an artist that I should listen to?
Yep.
Or what are the events that are going on? And We Out Here has truly become that sort of one-stop shop to find out what's happening in the Northwest, not just Portland, specifically Portland, but not just Portland, but the Northwest.
Definitely. And that's one thing that we've been trying to branch out and eventually, cover consistently is the rest of the region too. We're obviously from Portland, but we try to cover as much as Seattle. We got, APM family in Seattle and like all the artists up there. Shout out to Coma too. That's where we do our podcast, me and Mac, for Juice Radio. Shout out to D-Money. And I think that we're trying to focus on building a brand, and I think that's important. Me and Mac talk about that all the time. We're always talking about what we can do next. What's next, or where can we branch out and actually be in the streets? Because I mean, like We Out Here is kind of a double meaning. It's like when it was created, it was mainly to be from an artist standpoint, like, hey, we're here too.
Yeah.
But it's grown into we're actually out in the streets doing things.
Yeah.
When we do the kickback, shout out to Mac and to Bobby at Hip Hop Junkies and all those guys for putting that together last summer. That was a very successful event at Woodlawn Park. And there were a lot of people who said we couldn't do it.
But let them know what it was, though, because it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was in the summertime kickback. It was a basketball tournament that Mac put together with a couple people from the town, and we had a basketball tournament. There was barbecue. I DJ'd for a little bit, and we had other stuff going on too. But I mean, just a dope event, man. A lot of artists came out and supported, and we definitely appreciate it. And everybody's asking when the next one's going to be. No doubt. That's a great sign. But that's just an example of being out here. Like, we could easily sit behind a computer and run a blog, but getting out there and touching the people and networking is the important part,
Well, one of the things that I hope people took away from that event was beyond the fact that it was really it was fun. It was a lot of fun to see all of those people together having a good time.
Right.
You know, that event happened really right in the midst of a lot of turmoil that was going on, that continues to go on here in the Portland metro area.
Indeed.
In terms of sort of the breakdown between specifically the hip hop community and the authorities in Portland, and that event went off without a hitch.
It did. It really did. But you know what, man? Like it's sad that has to be said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be quite honest. And it's, things do happen, but, hip hop is not necessarily enveloped in that. You know what I mean? It's not a reflection. It's a reflection of all aspects, you know?
Right.
So when we say we're going to have a barbecue and, these people just want to play basketball and interact with each other, I mean, there's not always going to be an incident,
right.
And especially with We Out Here, we take great care in making sure that things go without incident, because there's our name behind it, number one, but there's also Portland hip hop behind it,
right.
So, and I think people kind of respect the brand, what I'm saying? Like, we're doing something positive for the people, or at least we try to, we try to get, and we're not being stingy about it. If you want to come help,
right.
If you want to partner with us, we love that.
Right.
We partner with everybody, around town as best we can, So I think that, and shout out to I think it was, I forget who they were, some type of security that was there, but they actually want to get a team next summer. Mac told me so.
Okay,
yeah, it's a good look,
So definitely be on the look for info on how you can get your team together. We'll have to make sure that we give people the dates of the next event.
Yep, that's coming soon this summer. Y'all will see it. Trust me.
Okay, that's what's up. So something that, and I want to say that it was at that event that I saw. that I saw sort of the next evolution of Dizz.
Yeah.
So we first connected once again.
Yeah.
I saw you as a producer / vocalist.
Yeah.
And then writer.
Yeah.
And now DJ Dizz is in the building.
I will never, you will never catch me put DJ behind my name ever.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the radio. That's the only reason I'm comfortable saying DJ Klyph.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's just I didn't grow up with a pair of Technics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never ever put DJ behind my name, but I love music and I know music. So it was a very natural transition for me. Yeah. And it's been working.
Was that the first event that you actually
yes.
spun at like that?
In Portland, yes. Okay. I do some friends' house parties and stuff. I started off just messing around. I picked up a little mix track and was like, let me see what I can do with this thing. So that was the first event that I did, and then I was like, you know what, I can probably take this a little bit more serious. And a shout out to Adrian at Way Too Hot promotion. My guy, he gave me a shot at the Rose Bar downtown Portland, and I did a pretty good job. So I ended up with a monthly there called the Rewind.
No doubt.
Yeah, we do that every fourth Saturday, and that's been going on since I want to say last September. So we're approaching it, a year pretty quickly. And it's opened up more opportunities for me, man. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's just things are moving really fast, man.
Yeah, really
fast. So
that's talk about that event because there's a lot of stuff to get into in Portland. I mean, I think that is one of the cool things. Most days of the week there is a cool event that you can go and check out, but let folk know a little bit more about what Rewind is.
The Rewind is basically, man, like music I grew up with, I've always been a producer that had an ear for the club. Yeah. So it's easy for me to identify, what records I would like to spin, but then we wanted to put a twist on it and kind of go back in the day, not too far. We kind of went too far at first, but nobody wants to dance to Michael Jackson all night. But late '90s, early 2000s, all the way up to current music at the end of the night is what I usually do. Okay, and we get that place jumping, man. I love it. It's a great experience. It allows me I learn something new every time I do it. Yeah. We always have a good time, and it's drama free. People just want to come out and dance. I think that element's missing from the clubs a lot is people just stand around, man. It's okay to dance, 2-step, something.
No doubt,
You know?
doubt. And I mean, and I think that is interesting to to create an atmosphere where it's not. I mean, you don't have to be so cool,
right?
Like if you really want to just go out and dance, it's a safe place to do that.
Right.
Not safe in the sense of being physically safe
right.
from harm, but safe and like you can just go and
let
enjoy
yourself go, man.
Yeah.
Like my people come out, and it's a mixed crowd too, man. It's people of all colors, ages come in. We get like waves of different ages people just hanging out. So people love to hear good music, I guess. You know, like I like music that you could dance to and that you can barbecue to, man.
That's what's up, man.
That's how I get down.
That's what's up. Chopping it up with Dizz. So let's go back a little bit to We Out Here. One of the things that is really cool to see is, and you mentioned partnering with folk in the city, man, that you folk have really done that in a real big way. I mean, there's been a lot of events, album release parties, and that sort of thing that We Out Here has really connected with, promoted, and not just by putting like an announcement on the website, but like banners, a presence there. Talk about some of the events that you folks have gotten behind. Like I know there's been some record releases, some recent ones.
That we've officially sponsored.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. So.
Because I know you did the Big Mo.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that's a recent event that we did. That one was that at the Rose Bar? I can't remember. But
that one was at Kelly's Olympian.
Right. I'm sorry, Kelly's. That's right. I didn't attend that one. We try to split shifts, but
no doubt.
So we got that. We're doing the Thesis with KPSU.
So let people know what Thesis is, because that's y'all have done a couple of those, or three.
We've
or four,
done
maybe?
about 4 of them,
okay.
I think, right now, and the next one's going to be crazy. So the Thesis is a show that is put together and sponsored by both We Out Here magazine and the folks at KPSU, Portland State. And I want to say the first couple of them were just bananas. Were just bananas. Like we had a great turnout. They've been going well all around, And Mac, and shout out to Janessa with the WOHM team, man. She puts a lot of work into that. And actually, my guy from PSU as well, Blake, they do a great job. I don't even touch that, to be quite honest with you. I show up and have a good time.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So we do that. That's at Kelly's Olympian. That's every first Thursday. And what else have we been doing lately? I'm trying not to say what we're working on as opposed to what we've already done.
Right. But I think that once again, it's cool to see events that bring together not just people who attend the events, like you talked about, that's open to any and everyone, but artists from different. For lack of a better term, subgenres of hip hop,
right.
Together,
yeah, we don't. That would just be hating. That would just be hating. We can't do that. We honestly enjoy those genres. Like I don't just listen to trap stuff all the time. Underground. We listen to all of it. We literally like all of it. So. We try to pick, and curate. I guess that's where the blog comes into play. Is that if we hear something that we like, we broke quite a few artists on We Out Here, I would say, in terms of to the town. Yeah. So I think that's an important part of We Out Here. That's why it creates an atmosphere where everybody can access everything.
Right.
So,
Right. That's what's up, man. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm filtering. I'm trying to figure out how to, the best way to say this.
Right on.
Because I don't think that it's as much of a thing now as it once was. But there were the artists here in Portland. There's so much talent here in Portland that in some ways kind of gets overlooked.
It does.
and one of the things that we've talked about is how We Out Here has done such a great job of promoting everyone.
Yeah, right. We try to, man. We're not perfect, and I know people listen to this. They never post to my stuff, but we try our best. At the end of the day, me and Mac do a lot of the legwork on the website itself. Yeah. Shout out to Drew in Seattle too. He definitely puts in some work. But we're only a handful of people, and there are a lot of artists in the town.
Yeah.
And it's just we try and do the best we can and try to feature everybody that we think deserves it and try to balance the site between established artists and artists we want to break, you know.
Is there a thought at all of We Out Here can be the platform that really helps the rest of the country? Well, I mean, shoot, with technology now, the rest of the world really see what Portland has to offer. I mean, is there any sense of wanting to do that, or is that not something you guys really focus on? I mean,
it's a little bit of both. I think that we want to be one of the premier websites that help do that, but I don't think we want to be the only one. I think we want to set the benchmark, for lack of a better term, that, you know, other websites that are coming around. I've seen quite a few that are dope, you know, and they're kind of, not to say that they're, you know, building off our model or anything, but they're using the same formula and it works, you know. And I think that's the key that's missing in our city right now is unity. And it's, you know, it was a beautiful thing to go to Cool Nuts' release party for his album last night and to see so many rappers in the same building, you know, from northeast, wherever. And just supporting, you know, everybody in that place last night probably owed Cool Nuts a favor anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, you know, in spite of that, like even if they didn't, it's just, you know, people got together, networked. I saw Capes, Mike Capes. I saw Waco and Nice Luciano and just a bunch of people, man. Just, you know, and it was all love. That is what we're trying to do with the website.
That's what's up. It's interesting that, you know, you mentioned Cool Nuts, because I think one of the things that I saw, and I really began to connect with the local scene kind of on the tail end of POHOP. I think I was really connected with folk maybe the second to last POHOP. And obviously Cool Nuts has continued to grow his career and move on. Now, I'm not going to say move on to other things. I actually don't know what the plans are for more of them. But that was I thought such a cool thing, annual thing, yearly thing that would bring together so many artists. And not having that, I think it is cool, like you're saying, that there can be an event that's going to bring together all these people. So, and I think, again, having platforms like We Out Here can just to let folk know that it's happening, you know what I mean, and let folk know that they should attend is really invaluable. So, you know, kudos to y'all for what you've done.
Thank you, man. And hey, big shout out to my guy Max Smith, man. That's my homie, bro. Like,
no doubt.
He really put me on and gave me a chance to do what I'm doing now. Really, you know, it is, you know, paying dividends. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So speaking of Max Smith, you and Matt actually get together and do a little broadcast piece yourselves.
Yes.
Man. Speak on that. I know you touched on it a second ago, but
We Out Here Radio is our podcast that we have slowly been promoting, very slowly on purpose, because we're trying to perfect it, you know. But it's a podcast or a radio show that airs on Juice Radio on gojuiceradio.com. Every first Tuesday. Actually, we air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. You'll catch a new episode the first Tuesday of every month, and then they'll repeat. So for now, we're just doing our show. We either we'll bring somebody on, or, you know, last episode we talked with Damian Lillard's cousin, Brookfield Deuce, an Oakland rapper. And good dude, man. Good dude. He was talking about the Jacka and all that stuff that affected the town. So, but yeah, we also break music on there too. You know, if there's songs that we like, we'll definitely put them on and spin them, and we try to do it, you know, as diverse as possible. I think one episode we went from Sore Losers to Reva DeVito or something like that. So we try to widen the spectrum as much as possible on that, and just, you know, hopefully and expand the market to Tacoma too, because, you know, that's where Juice Radio is centrally located. So I feel like we're just trying to make sure that we don't forget that it's not just Portland, you know, which is a good look.
That's what's up, man. So it's cool because now you have you've got the web presence with the blog, and then you've added the broadcast piece. Any plans on that you can speak of doing like a visual piece? Like we're gonna see a We Out Here television or,
It's funny you say that. That's one of the first things. I'm the guy that goes to Mac and is like, hey, we need this, bro. And that was one of the first things. I was like, we should try and do this. But, as we expand, it's just becoming more apparent that we need more people.
Yeah.
So, as soon as we have the personnel to support it, there would definitely be a video. In fact, we really want to turn WOHM Radio into that eventually.
Yeah.
That's just, it's baby steps at this point, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
It's funny because it makes me think of, I kind of came up on East Coast hip hop.
Right.
So I always have a bit of an ear towards what is happening, or really more of what has happened in the past. And it's cool to see something like this, a project that started off as a blog that's really grown into an online magazine, in my opinion.
Right.
Adding a radio piece, the visions of maybe the television piece, and just kind of imagining what that could be moving forward in the future.
Man, that's the thing. Like when you see that color green with that font and it says WOHM, like that's a brand, man. That's like looking at the McDonald's logo to me. So that's how I approach it. When I'm talking to Mac, when we're talking together and brainstorming ideas, we always look at it like this could be a thing. Like, it really could be bigger each year. So we're just kind of laying bricks right now,
That's what's up. Yeah. Chopping up with Dizz. All right, so kind of I don't know if you said it before we turned the mics on or not, but I'm gonna put it out there because I know there's a lot of people who are, like I said, for me, this whole relationship started off with you doing the production thing.
Right.
And we done ran through all of these things that you're doing, promoting other people. You know what I mean? And I know every once in a while, like I said, you show up on somebody's track.
Yeah, man.
But is there any time at all to work on new music for Dizz or what?
I mean, there's always time, I guess. Like, I think we had talked about it, but it's more so inspiration for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do it anymore just to do it. I'm not one of those cats out there chasing a paycheck with music, but I've the funny thing is, though, is that I never paid as much attention to local music until I started with We Out Here. And, I never really started paying attention to national music as much as I do until I stopped producing because I didn't want to be so easily influenced by that stuff. Mm-hmm. So now that I'm DJing, I can do the national and pick up on that, get a vibe, and same with locally, especially locally with We Out Here. Mm-hmm. And all of that stuff is starting to inspire me to make music again. So it's really a matter of it's a longer process, man. Mm-hmm. That's the thing is that we did critical mass in a year, and I was working a full-time job. You know what I mean? And I mixed that project, recorded it, did the beats. So. Eventually, I won't rule it out. I won't rule it out. I definitely would love to work. And right now, I love doing hooks for people. I love doing hooks. So if somebody hits me up and they're like, "Hey, if I like the record, I'll do a hook on it." That's kind of where I'm at. I'm chilling and magically end up on Two Dope Boys with Tope and Luck and them.
That's what's up, man. Is there a direction that you think is maybe not direction? Is there anything that you think might be missing in terms of representation in the Portland scene right now, musically?
Not really, man. We have one of the most diverse music cities, I think, in the nation, to be quite honest. I mean, where else can you go catch an indie rock show and then walk down the street and go to a hip hop show and then catch some weird banjo playing show? Like, it's just, I think we're doing well. Yeah. I think compared to 10 years ago, compared to, 5 years ago, we're doing well. Like it's just, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I think we're doing okay. And
it's funny because when I've had an opportunity to talk to folk who are truly native or who have been in Portland for years and years, I mean, there's been some great music. I'm talking about like back in the 70s. There's been some great music that came out of Portland. And from what I understand, at one point, Portland was sort of known as a spot that you could go to hear some great funk bands, some great, and that has, everything I think sort of goes in waves. So it's just interesting again to see. I've been here for 20 years, so I've kind of seen bands and groups come and grow and see a certain level of success. But I would say in the last 5 years, there's been more of a steady rise of artists.
Yes.
You know, which has been kind of cool.
Packaged artists.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. Is that these artists are smart, man. They're using the internet. They're creating material and keeping it until it's packaged and ready to go, as opposed to just putting out songs, putting out videos randomly, and not really having a plan behind it. There's artists who I talked to, like I said last night, that were just like, I really want to drop something with y'all, but I got to wait till the time is right, and that's, to me, that's smart.
Yeah.
When we were doing it, when I was doing it, it was more so, let me put this song on the internet and see what happens. So I think a lot of artists are smartening up and learning how to package themselves, and the independent market is getting better here, as far as like the economy. Like, people will go pay to see Vinny Rock, or to go, go to a Mike Cape show, and they'll pay money to watch them. So like, you're putting money in those artists' pockets, and they're using that to reinvest in their careers. Yeah. So I think that's the main difference between now and back then, for me anyway.
Yeah, that's what's up. Chopping it up with Dizz. With the vehicle of We Out Here, you guys, did y'all go down to South by Southwest?
I've never been.
Okay.
Mac and those guys, they've gotten it in down there a couple times.
Because I'm just curious, with events like that, and now that you have, like you said, We Out Here is really becoming a brand. Do you folk get more reach out from other regions saying, hey, we kind of see what's going on up there. We want to build with
be
you
involved
in a more real way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, nationally, we're noticed. I can tell you that right now. We'll get an email from a label rep saying, "Hey, such and such is coming to town. Do you guys want to cover it?"
Yeah.
Whether it's Portland, Seattle, wherever.
Right.
If it's in the Northwest region, they'll hit us up. A lot of the time, and sometimes it's a smaller artist, sometimes it's a big artist, and. It's always funny because you never really know who's looking. Yeah. You can't really tell where those hits are coming from. But when you get one of those emails, we are getting national attention in Portland.
Yeah,
it's happening.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So if an artist who's in, I don't know, in Texas, or an artist who's in Florida or New York, who's listening to this, who wants to get some sort of connect here in the Northwest, in Portland specific, like, what's the best way to do that in terms of connecting with, their view of the scene is because of what they see on We Out Here.
Right. I would say the first thing to do is, we try to put on every post, if there's an artist that you like or you would like to collab with, we try to put their information in the post. That's the main thing. So if you would like to get with, an artist specifically, that's a good way to go about it. We at least put their Twitter information on there so you can hit them up. So in terms of maybe shows or events or things, hit us up, hit our emails, either myself or Mac. Usually if, you can hit one or the other or both and we'll respond. We really don't, that's the thing though, is that we really don't feature artists outside of the region. We try not to. And the we've had a few exceptions. The most recent being Brookfield Deuce, obviously, is because and the only reason, to be honest, that we really pushed for that was because he took it upon himself to come up here and do a song with a couple of Northwest artists, which we thought was amazing. You're from Oakland, California. You don't have to do that, So I just feel like if it's organic, if the connection is organic, we'll make it work.
No doubt. With that, do you think that we'll see, and this is just more of an opinion now, do you think we'll see more of that after All-Star Weekend and Dame just really showing people that he got skills?
That dude
on Sway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he really showed out on Sway, man.
Yeah.
He got bars, man.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. And it's not like he's like the greatest MC in the world, but you're just surprised that he can spit. Right. He can hold a solid 16 together. It's dope to me. So, I think. Nationally, I feel like that's different to me because the NBA is one thing. He could, hopefully not, but he could end up Washington Wizard somewhere. Right. You never know. Right. But it definitely brings a spotlight on Portland. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that the spotlight's been here for a while, and I don't think we really even notice.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's not the first time that Portland has gotten love, specifically with Sway.
Right.
Because it was a couple years ago when Hanif was on there.
Right.
And Sway was giving him a bunch of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, I can say that I was on MTV, man. That was dope. They played our music video on MTV.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was on MTV, man. That was crazy. For 2 seconds.
Once again, you need to go get critical mass.
Right.
Nah, but I think that you're right. There have been artists who, we've named a bunch of them who've literally been around the world, and artists who, when they're not in Portland, rep Portland. We talked about Cool Nuts,
definitely.
Right? You look at Ilmac, who's literally been around the world and is repping
overseas
in the battle scene right now, and reps Portland everywhere that he goes.
Yep.
If you haven't seen the latest video that Hanif just dropped for
12-inch vinyls.
Yeah, it's from 12-inch vinyls.
Yeah, I forget what it's called too.
King of the Northwest. He's rocking Trailblazer gear.
In DC, I think. I want to say,
exactly.
Yeah, he out here, man.
So I mean, I think you're right. That people see stuff that's happening in Portland. I think it goes back to what you mentioned earlier, though. Now people in Portland are coming together.
Yep.
To support one another in a real way, which is really, really dope. It's kind of that next level.
It is. It's we're doing what Seattle did a few years ago, I think. Yeah. And I've done a couple shows in Seattle before, so when I go up there, it's cool. It's so crazy to see when you go to a Seattle show and there's 5 Seattle artists, and not just struggle artists. These guys are established. They have their brands. They could be out doing something else, but they're at your show. Right. So it's just when you realize that that's what it takes, then I think that's when you start to succeed.
Yeah, no doubt. Chopping it up with Dizz, man. So the next big thing that you can talk about that people should be on the lookout. I'm not sure when this is going to air. So let's say this summer, what can people look for this summer that you can talk about?
Okay. I can definitely talk about another kickback. That's the main thing. People want to see that really badly. Yeah. So we're definitely doing that. And it's hopefully going to be a little bit bigger than it was last time. I can't say, details or anything, but please do look out for that. And if you would like to help, you can hit us up too on the website, weouthere.net. I think last time we were trying to get some face painters out, a couple, just if you want to donate your time for a good cause, and just to come have some fun, come hang out, meet some people, shake some hands, and just as a side note, a lot of people I always see on the internet complaining about how no blogs post them and they don't get no love and this and that, but nobody knows who you are. Yeah, that's a big important thing. When I was producing and stuck in the studio for 13 hours a day, nobody knew who I was. Yeah. So even if I can make the best music ever, and if nobody knows who I am, they're not going to care. Yeah. So I think that's a big important part. Take that first step. Go to a show. Go to an event, somebody else's show. Yeah. Shake their hand and meet them. Yeah. I see Steve-O at all the shows. Yeah. Anytime I saw him at a Taupe show, saw him at a couple shows. So and that love is reciprocated. So. But I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
No, just what's coming up. But let me touch on that for a sec, because I think you make a really good point there. Mm-hmm. I think that the music that we all participate in one capacity or another is a part of the building of community. Right. And building of community, I think, is what you're saying. Yes. Come out to shows, shake someone's hand, get to know people, let them know who you are as an individual. Mm-hmm. And when we talked about how your connection with the art, with We Out Here magazine and Airplane Mode, and I mean, that was all organic because individuals got to know who you are. Right. I play PlayStation with these dudes, man. Like, exactly. You know what I mean? And I think the things that grow out of that are consistency. Definitely. I mean, it just gets right back to that. When people know your strengths, then you'll get the opportunities. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If people don't know what you can do, they're not going to call on you. They're not looking for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Taupe had me in mind when he wanted to do Rocky, Yeah. Yeah. So just an example of how things can work, if you do it the right way. No doubt. So we're gonna look for the kickback coming up this summer. Yes, kickback's coming up. The rewind hopefully is going to keep going especially as summer comes along. It's gonna crack. So no doubt. Come out in 2-step. What else, man? There are just some things. You know what?
I don't know when this is going to air, but April 2nd is the KPSU boat party. That's excuse me, the thesis is on a boat, basically. Tickets are on sale, man. I don't know how they did it, but that was impressive. When I heard that, I was like, get out of here, man. Yeah. We're doing actually. Taupe and Mike Bogan will be on that show, and I think Verbs is spinning. Blossom will be featured on there. There's probably a couple other people that are going to be there, but look out for that because we're going to be rapping on a boat, man.
That's ridiculous. And I mean, again, it's such a good look for just the continued growth of the scene,
right?
You know, to be able to do something on that level.
We're getting looks because we do stuff and it works. Yeah. To be quite honest, if you plan it the right way, if you have a team around it, you know it'll work and you'll get more opportunity.
No doubt. So April 2nd?
Yes, I want to say, that should be the day, April 2nd. Check weouthere.net. We will have all those, the dates and everything up pretty soon. I know we're going to start promoting that pretty heavy, usually a couple weeks beforehand. And we got to sell tickets too, so buy a ticket.
Yeah, no doubt.
Buy two.
Speaking of that though, man, one of the other things I think that I don't know if people are really aware of, but you know, as artists are making product and putting it out and trying to get heard. I know that you said that, you know, sometimes people get at you, man, you're not posting my stuff.
Right.
But there are other ways that We Out Here provides for artists to be seen on the website. You know, and I know that, you know, we're all out here struggling and all out here on the grind, but We Out Here also offers advertising for artists. So speak on that right quick.
If you want, I mean, we do, you know, sponsorship packages, advertising packages. If you want, there's a leaderboard when you first hit weouthere.net. And I think right now the Warren G concert, that's going on the 11th of this month, April 11th or March 11th, excuse me, at the Crystal Ballroom. Yeah. And that's just an example of what we can do. And eventually what we'll start doing too is offering advertising on our radio show, just like you're trying to do.
No
doubt.
And
we want to try and keep it local, just like you said, like Sizzle Pie, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah. And we can also do sponsored ads, posts, excuse me, on the website. And we're just looking at different things. And if you have an idea that we haven't thought of, come to us. You know, if it works and it makes sense, we can pursue it, you know? That's just, you know, again, baby steps. We're trying to grow. We hit I want to say 10% over our goal of hits last year.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and it's only getting bigger, man. So, and it's funny because sometimes you'll notice like a little bit of dip in the numbers on the site, but then you step outside and We Out Here is everywhere. So it doesn't really matter. The online presence matters, but not as much as being out there. So, anyway, hit us up for advertising. We'll hook you up.
That's what's
it's
up.
Gonna cost you some money. Not gonna lie.
And I mean, and I'm gonna speak to it, man. I mean, I've had an opportunity to work with We Out Here and on that level in terms of doing advertising.
Right.
It's always been a very, very cool process, and I recognize the benefit of it. You know what I mean? Definitely. And louder than words, man. It's one thing to say, but it's another thing to be willing to open up your wallet and just don't go to Starbucks for a couple months, and you'll be golden for real.
We offer affordable and reasonable services. We got you.
Exactly. My man Dizz, dude, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
Has been some time.
So I just truly appreciate you taking the time out. I mean, we've run through all the things that you're doing on a regular, so I know that you're a busy man. So thank you so much, my brother. For
absolutely, man.
Podcast,
anytime, bro. And you're going to be on our show pretty soon, so be ready for that because we are knuckleheads on our show.
I'm with it. You know, my man Dizz, man. Check out weouthere.net,
yes,
and
sir.
I always got to do the because you're on social media for We Out Here, but you're also on social media just under Dizz. So let people know how to connect with you that way as well.
Absolutely. My Twitter is at BIGGDIZZ, Big Dizz. That's where, don't judge me by my tweets. I'm a knucklehead, but follow me on Twitter. My Facebook page is facebook.com/ I believe it's Dizz. You can just search Dizz, DIZZ. I'm on there too. And that's primarily what I use. I don't really use the Instagram because I rock with the We Out Here Instagram a lot. Right, so, just hit me on Twitter, man. Hit me up. Go to the website, weouthere.net. Check my email address if you ever want to hit me or, talk game, shoot me a song, whatever. Hit me up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Big Dizz.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you too, my brother. Y'all be blessed. We'll do it again soon.
Yep,
All right,
yep.
y'all. Peace.